I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We'd like to welcome Mia DeLuna. Hi!
Hi!
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
All right, hello. I am Mia DeLuna. I am your local lunar librarian. I have come to Earth to study your culture, your stories, and archive them in my giant library, which also just so happens to be my ship.
Mm.
And yeah, that's my whole thing. I am the alien librarian VTuber.
Yes, I am, being that you are that, I hate to think what the fee is for an overdue book.
Well, that's why one of the redeems on my channel is book returns, and it just yeets an entire book right at my head. So everyone is always free to return whatever books that they have on hand.
That's good, because I still have one from my old second grade class I haven't returned yet. It's after put in about 50 some years worth of fees on it, and it'll be perfectly fine.
That's fair. That's fair. But the thing is that was to a different library. That's not to my library. So
I can keep the Dick and Jane book. Okay, I'll keep it.
I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
So what brought you into the VTubing sphere?
Oh my goodness. So many things. I was ultimately fascinated by the technology involved. I thought it was so cool. Motion capture. Did you know that the person who actually pioneered this technology was Jim Henson?
No, I did not.
Yeah, no. I watched a Jim Henson documentary, and apparently back in the early 90s, he had like right before he died, he had pioneered figuring out how to move digital three-dimensional puppets using motion capture software. But because that it was like so cutting edge and they didn't really have anything anywhere they could go with it, they just sort of like shoved it onto the shelf. I really loved the concept that that VTubers are continuing a facet of Jim Henson's legacy.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
Right?
And I know that some people have talked about rigging and stuff as kind of a puppeteering type of thing. And
oh my God, it is.
And of course,
oh my God, it is.
It does kind of all tie together at the end in a nice little bow.
Most definitely.
But
most definitely.
I can,
because like I don't make 2D models, but all of my 3D models I've made. Basically it's you get the puppet form, you put all the puppet parts onto the puppet, and you make sure that the puppet moves the way that you need it to, and then you're in production.
Wow. I mean, that's all of that is way over my head.
It took me a while to get. There's still a lot that's over my head as well, but my friends have started calling me a tech wizard, and I'm like, I guess. I mean, I do jokingly say that I was raised by a wild pack of computers. But
a roaming band of Apple IIs got together.
Oh, absolutely not. I was not raised by Apple. I was definitely raised by Windows machines.
No iMac toasters carrying you around.
But I gotta say, I do remember. I have mentioned, because I am an older VTuber in this space, and when I was really little, the computers at my school were so old, and I was like, yeah, I remember those 8-inch floppy disks that were actually floppy, and then people are like, wait, you shouldn't be old enough to remember those. And I'm like, I am, surprised.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the first computer I owned, because I'm an 80s kid, was one of the first paychecks I got. I got the Commodore 64.
Oh, fantastic. I remember one time my mom called me up in the middle of my fucking class because she was losing her mind that she got her hands on an Atari 2600. And I'm like, Mom, I am in school.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I remember walking around my middle school. Like, I remember the year that everyone switched over to jump drives,
hmm
because like half my class had already started switching over to jump drives, because everyone usually actually, like, before that, would carry their homework around on like a stack of floppy notes.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I had mine, and mine were orange, and they were so cool. And then it's just like, yeah, no, I got like 1.5 gigs on
Yeah.
this like jump drive stick, and I'm just like, shit, man, that's sick as hell.
I mean, meantime, you've got a little red wagon behind you full of discs.
Oh my god, right? Yeah, no, it was, oh, it was a whole thing. So.
Oh, well, get this. When a friend of mine got an old Atari computer, like
Delightful.
pre the stuff, and it was, at the time it was, mind blowing, of course.
Yeah.
But
Oh, of course. Yeah.
but most of the computer programs for that came on cassette,
Oh yeah. No, the older ones were cassettes. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it took
Yeah. Yeah.
half an hour to load these games off a cassette.
God, yeah, no, I definitely remember the era of the oh, I'm trying to load something, or oh, I'm trying to install something, time to get up and make a snack and leave.
Yes, exactly. Some of these cassettes actually, you would hear people. There would be just enough room on the tape for people to do like a little acoustic guitar or something. So they'd play.
That's adorable. I love
Yes,
that.
it was so. And then he accidentally got a disk drive in the mail, which was like, what?
Ooh,
And so he was,
exciting.
yeah. So the load time was
Happy to give
reduced
that
by
back. Damn.
by about half. It was still
Yeah,
interesting, but
yeah, I
but
bet.
with all that and the rudimentary stuff that we were dealing with back then, uh, to go in to go from technology to that to what we have right now is
Oh my God,
is
absolutely.
just such a huge jump for the relatively short history time.
Oh yeah.
You're going from
I originally started doing VTubing stuff several years ago.
yeah
But because I was, doing a full-time job and yada
yeah
yada yada,
yeah
I wasn't it wasn't until like this last, the tail end of 2024 that I was like, screw it. I'm going hardcore full VTuber. I have nothing holding me back at this point. The job market won't take me. I am sitting at home and I am not generating any fundage, and I have tech skills and I have art skills. Let's
yeah
do something with them. So, and also when I got laid off of my last tech job, they basically let me keep all the testing devices.
ooh
Yeah, so I got an iPhone, an iPad, multiple biometric monitors.
oh,
Pardon me, multiple biometric monitors that keep track of heart rate, cadence, um, your steps and whatnot, because it was an exercise software.
yeah
I have a little cute little pink, what's the word, treadmill in my living room. Um, so yeah, no, I was just like, I have all the pieces that if I put them together, I could make something fantastic.
you make a Franken-tuber out of all of that. But,
Pretty much. And that's basically what I've done.
uh,
Also, an old coworker sent me a Leap Motion, so I've been using that for hand tracking. It's an old Leap Motion, so but so it just makes me think of the old Star Wars line.
yeah,
It's an old code, but it still checks out.
that's right.
Um,
It still works.
yeah, still works.
Yeah,
Technically, yeah. Does it work as nice as the newer models? No. Does it work? Absolutely.
yeah.
So I'm going to run it into the ground until it no longer works completely.
It sounds like
Um,
me and all the cars I've ever owned. Does one
there you go. Me and all the computers I've ever owned.
does one of the headlights still work? Yep. Okay, here we go.
Exactly. Oh, something's wrong? Okay, replace a part and let's keep moving. Come on, we got places to be.
I once had a car that in the middle of a 100-degree summer, the,
Oh my
the
God.
the temperature gauge didn't work. The temperature regulator in the car didn't work. So I had to run the
No.
heater full blast in 100-degree
No.
heat with the windows rolled down.
No.
And the speedometer didn't work.
No. Oh my God. Yeah,
But
no,
by
that
golly,
no thank you.
the car was paid for, and I was going to run it until it died.
That's fair. That's 100% valid.
Yeah, that's if it's paid for, by golly, I own it. I'm gonna
Exactly.
I'm gonna use the Jesus out of it. The so you actually pretty much had all the equipment to go.
Mhm.
You're just sitting there
Well,
waiting for
sort
you.
of. Like I ended up when I first started VTubing, I didn't have the iPhone. I just had the webcam, so I was still just working with that.
Hmm.
But then as I got everything else, everything just sort of fell into place.
Mm,
So
yeah. So I mean, you knew how to fix up the technical side.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, I joke that I was raised by a wild pack of computers. My current streaming computer that I'm like talking to you on right now, I built that.
Oh, ooh, that's pretty cool. The computer that I'm talking to you on, I've almost broke it.
Yeah, no, I got all the parts and I built this. Like my previous computer, I built that one as well. My mom taught me how to build them.
Wow.
So I've always had sort of like a technical affinity, and I'm not just like, okay, so and I have to say that's really also helped me in my career, where it's like you put a piece of technology in my hands and you
Mm.
give me time alone with it, I will figure out how it works.
Ah, that's absolutely cool. That is neat.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that you kind of you're kind of born with the curiosity to do something like that,
Hmm.
and to figure out as you go. There's a lot of great talent there to be able to do that. But how did you get the talent to entertain people along the way while you're doing it? Because
Oh,
that's what you're doing now, entertaining people.
oh, most definitely. So I've always considered myself fairly entertaining. I've always been the class clown, always the one making jokes.
Mm.
Being neurospicy meant that I did not always get all of the jokes and the ha-has and the guffaws that came my way.
Mm.
But I noticed that humor was actually a lot more simpler than people, took credit for.
Mm.
Well, one, it is, comedy equals tragedy plus time.
Yes.
But it involves like a certain amount of wordsmithery and this,
Hmm.
that, and the other thing. And that's always been, something that I was fond of. And then also, I was raised in a cult, and
Mm.
so humor in a weird sort of way was my way of rebellion
Mm.
for a moment there.
Yeah.
And by learning how to talk around the systems that I was forced to abide by,
Right.
I was able to make myself laugh. I was able to make others laugh, and I was able to keep going.
Yeah.
And humor is one of the things that helped me survive. And after I got out, I actually did a little bit of burlesque and a little bit of work doing, stage show stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm also bringing with me, the professionalism of, working on stage and queuing up all, the things.
Mm.
I've got my intro. I've got my music set up. I try and make sure that everything is themed. I sort of like put it together like I would one of, the stage shows that I
Mm.
was, on.
Right. Well, I can tell you this, absolutely, 100%, maybe even 150%, that after 570 of these interviews, you're the first person that has come from both a cult past and a burlesque past to be on the show.
Yeah, no, I feel like I am just like an amalgamation of a lot of weird nonsense, and all of it, like, it all of it leads to being a good VTuber somehow. Um, so, because like I've got my tech background, and then I also like before like my mom made me go through tech because I didn't want to go through tech.
Mm.
I wanted to be an artist. I've
Mm.
studied animation and
Yeah.
graphic design and this, that, and the other thing. I'm technically a published illustrator.
Mm.
No, don't get excited over that.
What?
It is cult propaganda for children. So I am not proud of that. But
No,
is
that's
it
there's the technically part of it. Yeah.
Technically,
Yes.
it's sort of like technically yes, but do I abide by what I made? No. So
Yes. Yeah.
so it's just one of those things, and so I sort of combined both my weird art skills and my tech to get to where I am now.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you.
No, I'm seriously, it is amazing. I mean, I've tried
Aw.
to abide by a ridiculous saying I've come up with over the years, which is people aren't the product of their environment; they're the triumph that emerges from the environment. And it
Yeah.
sounds like I can put you down in that category.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I mean, actually, like, a couple of weeks ago was actually my 12-year anniversary of being out.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, the suicide rate of to be very real quick, the suicide rate of the folks who leave my Christian fundamentalist doomsday death cult,
Hmm.
the suicide rate is very high, and there
Yeah.
were times where I probably would have joined the statistic, but I'm still here.
That's that's pretty amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, to have gone through the stuff you've gone through and have this type of spirit and pleasantness
Thank
and
you.
ironic eye, where you can appreciate these things, marks an extremely interesting and outstanding person.
Thank you. I like to think so as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you
I don't.
should.
I don't always agree because sometimes I just feel like a lump. But the rest of the time where I'm not feeling like a lump, I feel kind of like a
Yeah,
badass.
yeah.
Some of the time, not all of the time, but some of the time.
Well, I mean, you could be a lump, but you're an extremely colorful lump.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. But I mean, like, I am black and Cuban, but
Mm-hmm.
like half the year because I don't see a lot of sun.
Mm-hmm.
Like the white, I get pale enough that the white folk think I'm one of them, and it's like it's day 37, and the white folk still have not noticed.
One of us. One of us.
One of us.
Come to the Midwest. We'll get you right in. um,
Oh yeah, no. If I went to the wet Midwest where there's actually sun, I'd be actually properly brown for most of the year.
well, yeah,
So
especially this year, it would definitely be that sort of thing. But I'm sure that the winter would bring it back out of you.
there we go. There
Pretty
we go.
quickly. So with all of this, and I imagine you spent some time finding yourself in all of this, and going
Hmm.
into with the burlesque stuff. I don't even know where to start with that, but uh, but here with the VTubing thing, you've got a chance to um, almost reinvent yourself in a way,
Mm,
more like
yeah.
everybody now who meets you through this, they don't know necessarily what you've come from, what your past is.
Yeah.
You're still you, but you get to
Hmm.
write the book from
The
chapter
narrative.
one.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, fun fact: this I'm actually on. This is a rebrand.
Oh yeah,
I did have a model before,
yeah.
of a different one, and before instead of being Mia DeLuna, I was Mia the Goblin Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Actually, if you want to get technical, I did this. I'm on my third rebrand because
Yeah. Yeah.
um because I was Mia the Goblin Queen, and then I tried to be Lillian the Alien Librarian. And apparently a lot of people had a hard time reading that or saying my name or this, that, or the other thing. And I realized that there's so many VTubers named Lily, but
Mm,
there are so few VTubers named Mia.
mm.
So I was just like, screw it.
I'm combining the
Screw it.
two.
Yeah, no, I'm well, the thing is Mia is actually my real person name.
Hmm.
And so it's the only thing that like I carry with me cuz like with all of the rotten shit that I've been throughout the course of my life,
Hmm.
uh I want to carry a thread of authenticity through everything that I do. And I feel like one of the ways that I can do that is with my name.
Well, that's true. And while I would gather that that is a good base for yourself, um, even in just this little time I've spent talking to you, you're extremely authentic.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
I don't hear a lot of put on stuff when you're talking about it.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, no, because when it comes to social media and this, that, and the other thing, a lot of people put on their best foot forward all the time, and I do that to a certain extent. But if I'm struggling, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. If I'm having a bad time, I am having a bad time, and y'all are gonna know about it.
Join me. Come join me in the cesspool.
Come join me in the cesspool. It's very sticky and not necessarily great, but misery loves company, so let's hang out. Woo!
It's strangely warm.
Right? Strangely warm. But yeah, no, when it came, so I'm this may not surprise you, especially by being an alien VTuber, but I am a huge Trekkie. And a thing that kind of I've always likened to myself from Star Trek is that when they're on a planet where it's a pre-warp society, they haven't figured out how to build spacecraft to travel across the galaxy.
Right.
They sort of put down like a little duck blind so that they can sit back and watch how the society evolves.
Yes.
And there have been various times where something has gone wrong and they were then pushed out into the society and had to fend for themselves and be like, yes, I was always a part of this society. I am not someone from another planet. Mm-hmm.
Do not worry about the pointy ears.
Exactly, and I've always kind of felt that way, especially because like the cult I was raised in was very specific about being you have to be separate from the world, and now that I'm out in the real world, the real world is so much more surreal than I ever could have imagined.
Well,
my God, it's so weird out here.
It is.
It's so weird, man. Like, oh gosh, I can't even. Every year, man, every year, I am learning new things about Christmas. Okay, I've been out here on the outside for 12 years, and I still have not learned everything there is to know about Christmas. Like, there's I'm learning new traditions every year. That's absolutely wild to me.
Wait till you get to Christmas in July, and that'll really mess you up.
Oh my God, right? Yeah, no. My favorite holiday is Halloween. That's probably not surprising at all.
Cue the ministry music.
Right. But yeah, no, I always feel very much like, yes, so it is this holiday. Yes, so please tell me about all of your customs and how I am supposed to be doing these things.
That I already know about.
I already know about some of them, but I would like to understand the procedural practice of what this is supposed to mean as I am committing said acts and traditions.
Wow.
Custom to your people.
Wow.
And
it's I can understand now with what you're talking about, the kind of alien feeling that you get after being through that for a giant portion of your life and coming out of it for 12 years, and suddenly it's not like you hear the story about and it has become a horrible word now, but re-education and that type of thing. You don't get that option. You're just kind of like, here you go, and now here's society.
Re-education. Damn, girl, you gotta re-educate yourself.
That's right.
Like, you have to go in there and you gotta find the inaccuracies between what you've been told and what is actually true.
Yeah.
And you have to sift through that information for yourself. And that is some scary nonsense, I gotta say.
Well, I got a question for you, and you can
Yes,
tell the old man to shut up if you want, because I hear it from my wife all the time, and it works.
Okay.
Has there been something since you got out of there that you have found unfortunately true? Or maybe even worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
More or less, but I don't feel like I want to share those.
That's fine.
They
That's
are
fine.
unfortunately negative in ways that I don't think align with my brand, and
Yeah, well,
also go into my past, parts
that's
of my past that I don't want to talk about.
that's just fine. I just it's I don't think anybody can realize what a shock to the entire system it had to be
Oh
for
my
you.
god, yeah, no, I literally watched my entire psyche like collapse when everything that you think is true and real, you find out that is a lie,
Hmm.
and you have to sit there and rebuild your own psyche piece by piece.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're basically starting all over.
Oh
Um,
God, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like an old audio tape where you just put a magnet on it and come back later and tape over it again. Uh, you,
Yeah, no, it's can't do that. It's you gotta wipe, and it's sort of like I feel like the best thing is like, okay, so you're reformatting a hard drive so you can install a new operating system. You are keeping some of the data that was previously on the hard drive, but the thing is, when you load up the new operating system, you still have to go through and sift through that data and see
mm,
what is worth keeping and what is worth.
wow. It's I could and I don't even know. I tried to be empathetic on things, but I couldn't. I couldn't be. I mean, I'd be sympathetic, but that's that's
Fair.
that's amazing. And to come through it with um with the strength that you have
Oh,
is
thank you.
pretty awesome. Um,
I
I
I
mean,
feel like I haven't really had a choice.
yeah,
So
that's true. But you've made up for a lot of time
yeah.
here. I mean, there
Oh yeah.
there are a lot
No,
of people that
I
didn't go through that,
mm,
and in that 12-year period of time, couldn't have made up the ground in their entire lifetime that you have.
fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
I am very big proponent of personal growth,
Mm.
considering how much personal growth I had to go through to get
Yeah.
to where I am now.
Yeah. You're like a chia pet.
um, yeah, no, and it's been one hell of a ride. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, with the whole being an alien and tuber thing, that's I kind of wove that into my story
Mm.
because God, dude, the first 22, 23 years of my life were in that cult.
Yeah.
And so I have had 22 years of pop culture to catch up on. But the thing is, also at the same time, I'm very book smart.
Yes.
So it's a very interesting sort of juxtaposition that people don't necessarily know how to deal with,
Mhm.
because they're like, you know all of this, but you've never seen Die Hard? No, I haven't. Shut the fuck up.
Have you?
So I'm getting around to it. I'm getting there.
You,
Jesus.
you mean you never watched Friends?
Yeah. Oh, I have watched Friends.
Sorry.
I have opinions on Friends. We
Yeah.
can do that one right there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. There's so many things that I have and have not seen, because like my big breakthrough thing was Mass Effect.
Hmm.
Because Mass Effect, the Mass Effect 3 basically just came out when I was entering the workforce.
Hmm.
And I just discovered this fantastical new website called Tumblr.com. And everyone was losing their mind over this Mass Effect, and loving Star Trek and science fiction. I was like, I gotta get in on this. I gotta get in on.
Yeah.
But it was an M-rated game, and M-rated games were not allowed in my household.
Right.
And also because I was, by the way, I was 22, 23 years old at this time. I was being punished for something. I don't specifically remember what. I was the scapegoat. My little brother was the golden child. I don't remember the specifics of why I was in trouble. I just always was.
Mm.
And so my computer was actually in a public area. It was like shoved into the corner of the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured out how to play Mass Effect on it, minimized. I also got a digital copy of Mass Effect, because if Mass Effect wasn't allowed in the house, then it wasn't going to be in the house.
That's right.
At least not physically. And then it's a digital record, so I will always technically have it attached to my email, and it cannot be taken away from me.
Brilliant.
And so,
Brilliant.
yes, and so, yeah, no, Mass Effect was one of my first little bits of rebellion.
You should tell them about it. You get free stuff.
Right? Yeah, no, BioWare, please! BioWare!
It really,
but I also have opinions on it.
You obviously you got a big brain.
Thank you. I like to think so.
I mean, and getting out of the situation you were in must have felt like somebody let that loose, because now all of the information that you weren't privy to before, or the misinformation you've gotten before, now you've got a flood of it that you can swim in.
Oh my God, it was so overwhelming. I mean, like, I was already, like, sort of secretly looking up information that I wasn't supposed to. I was already, when I was sick and basically I was sort of, like, left to my own devices, I would, out of curiosity and also rebellion, I would watch movies that I wasn't allowed to watch online.
Yeah.
But they were like simple things, like Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Whoa.
Or Tim Burton's Corpse Bride.
Oh.
I remember those being a couple of favorites that I ended up watching a couple times when I was sick.
Wow. And now you got that chance. Once you get out, now you see this whole world basically opened up in front of you, and you're hungry.
Oh my God!
And
I'm so hungry for knowledge.
But
also, I was also not hungry for it because there was too much.
Yeah. It
was like, there's so much knowledge, but sifting through all of it was overwhelming, to say the least.
So, have you gotten to the point now, after all these years, and it's been quite a few years, where you are now comfortable in the situation you're on with society, away from that? You're yourself, you're your own person, away from there.
No. Because at the end of the day, I'm still fucking weird, man. I'm so fucking weird. I've lived through all kinds of weird nonsense that most people are probably not supposed to.
Yeah,
and whatever doesn't kill you makes you really weird. And hard to relate to at parties.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I love my boyfriend's family, but he and they are very white. And they look at me and they're just like, wow. And I'm just like, yup.
Yeah.
This is what you get. I'm sorry.
It's time for your turn to learn, folks.
Yup.
Hang on. But seatbelts on.
Hang on.
Here we go.
Time for you to open up the ways in which that you perceive the world, and find out that they are not as literally black and white as you think they are. So, yes, would you like some enlightenment?
Yes.
Slapped upside the head? I'm sorry, I also had enlightenment slapped upside my head. It's enlightenment is not kind all the time. So it just is what it is, man.
I mean, you could be like an entire TV series on Fox.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no. Also, and then when I left, I was like working at Nintendo of America as a game tester. So
Yes.
like I often say that like game testing, like my career as a game tester, like the game industry helped rescue me from a cult.
Yeah. So then folks be saying you went from that to that.
Yup. So
but
game industry, burlesque, stage shows, all kinds of nonsense. And now I'm doing VTubing.
Yeah.
Which seems like a really weird But still very like, yeah, how you ended up here makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. But so
Yep.
it's such a unique situation that, and you're probably saying, well, no one should go through that, but it
No.
has obviously shaped you in, by necessity, if nothing else,
Mm.
into a person that I think a lot of people are going to be able to enjoy and relate to right away. I mean, did you
I
find that?
think so.
Did you find that when you started with the VTubing that people kind of gravitated pretty quickly to you?
Yes, actually. But the thing is, like, I've always had that sort of
Pull.
that sort of pull
Yeah.
with people.
Yeah.
And I thought that, like, if I had like a proper stage with which to interact with people, I could actually go somewhere with it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have no
Because like
doubt.
I've always wanted to go into stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And now I literally have a captive audience with which to test my comedy on constantly, and it's delightful. Um,
There,
and then, sorry, you what was the question again? Can you
well,
go back? What was-
I mean, it's gone on for them, but with that audience, there are a lot of
Mhm.
people who are doing like stand up and
Oh,
doing this at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah. Then
yeah, no,
and
most definitely.
you still had to be very agile on your feet, mentally and
Oh gosh,
verbally
yeah,
to
no.
get through this.
I have. Oh yeah, no, it's just like, hello, bitch. Would you like some improv? Let's go. I mean, like, I also love Dungeons and Dragons, and Dungeons and Dragons is just improv and math.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, no, big Dungeons and Dragons just is trying to get gays to do math. Okay, you're trying to get gays to do math. I see you.
And frogs.
And I'm still out here being gay and doing math. So fuck. You got me.
Immediately, legislation gets drawn up.
Oh no.
See what you did? See what you did?
It is now legal to be gay and do math.
Yes.
And that's why so many gays are already bad at math.
Boy, but without that, we definitely wouldn't have won World War II. Alan
Right.
Turing.
Right.
Just a little shot across the bow for everybody out there. Look it
right.
up. Look it up.
But yeah, no, I've just amongst my friends online, when I was like, my friends on Facebook and stuff, they would always be like, oh, you're the things that you post, the things that you curate on the internet, they're so delightful, and it's like such a fun time seeing your feed. And I was just like, yeah. And then I was like, what if I brought that to a larger audience rather than just, my general circle of greater Seattle area natives.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the VTuber field is still growing, and
most
the
definitely.
audience potential is massive.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I also sort of like sorry, I meant to say this earlier, and I told the whole thing about like how my past has shaped me, and the whole being a librarian VTuber. I feel like that is being an alien librarian is the best way to sort of stay in character, because I still feel so very alien to this planet in some ways, and I have so many years of pop culture to catch up on. But also, on top of that, I also, like I said, I'm very book smart. I know a lot of things about stuff.
Yeah.
And this helps sort of bridge that gap by, yes, I am a librarian. I can sit here and just have like a weirdest TED talk about like any weird subject, and people are like, yeah, no, that's coming from the librarian. Yeah, no stuff, whatever. But you're gonna tell me about this very niche thing that has happened to you specifically on Earth? Like, damn, bitch, tell me more.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm clearing out some of the disk drive right now for it.
Right.
It's pretty good when you have to defragment yourself every couple of days.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I felt like if I was going to be a personality on the internet, I needed to find a way that combined all the parts of me into a way that was not only entertaining, but also I don't know. This is probably the worst way to say it, but I was just like easily acceptable to an audience.
Palatable.
Palatable. There we go. Most palatable to it, because like I'm very well aware that I am not palatable to everyone. Okay, like if I'm not your taste, like get some. Okay, damn. But
I like that.
but I understand that I'm not for everyone.
Yeah.
But there's you can take some time and expand your fishing net.
Yeah.
For all that. Oh, and also like my time in the video game industry.
Yeah.
Because I was doing bugs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was doing bugs for all kinds of things. I was doing bugs for websites and games and streaming applications.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I was meant to keep track of was making sure that the brand was the same across the board.
Okay.
So it was like it basically we were given like a document on what sort of branding issues to look out for. It's just like, is this the wrong shade of yellow? Is the text not doing stuff over here? Is that is the quality of this icon not the same as the other quality icon group?
Yeah.
And I sort of took that and I applied that to my own sort of branding across social media and my own Twitch channel.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got all those links that we're gonna have in the description for this.
Hell yeah! If you want to get in on those links,
yeah.
I also have merch now. So if people want to get in on my merch, it's I have some.
Yes.
Like I said, I do not make a lot of money, and I'm currently affiliate. I am not partner. So if anybody wants to help me out and help keep the lights on in the Lunar Library, I will. Yep. Please help.
Yeah, I'm. You are a thoroughly amazing person.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely enthralling, amazing, fun. What you've gone through, no one should have had to. No. But I get an idea that it is also highlighted the amazing strength of character that you have with doing this.
Thank you.
And to come out on the other side, still emerging from the other side, with the attitude and work ethic and that you have is mind blowing.
Thank you. I feel like I've had to, because this is who I've had to become to survive. Mm-hmm. But I also did not want to become what created me. Mm-hmm. And that was very important to follow through on. That I wasn't going to succumb to the kind of hate that I was raised with. Right.
Yeah, that the determination and revenge.
Listen, sir. Listen. I have said that I've gotten through a good portion of my life through the pure power of Cuban spite. Okay, my abuelita, she had like what 9 different types of cancers over the course of 20 years, and I'm pretty sure that she's still alive, and that's mostly through the power of Cuban spite. I've had COVID like 4 or 5 times, despite being so many vaccinations. Oh my god. And my brain is fuzzy, and my body doesn't necessarily do all the things that I would like it to do. But I'm here. Actually, the first time I got COVID, it was actually January of 2019.
Wow.
Oh my god.
So you're early developer.
Yeah, I got COVID before it was cool. Okay. Oh my god.
Man.
I remember there were times where I lost consciousness because I was basically sitting there like breathing manually because I was having such a hard time.
Oh.
And then I remember my partner at the time was like, let's go out and get some food. And I'm like, I don't think it's probably good for me to go out while I'm sick. And they're like, it's fine. And I'm just like, okay. And they took me to this little ramen spot, and I was so confused because it was like, why can't I taste my food?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's weird when that happens. It's.
Oh, yeah, no, I ended up putting a lot of chili oil in it. Like, I didn't want to upset my stomach, but also at the same time, like, the only thing that I could sort of taste was the heat from the capsaicin.
Yeah.
That's it. And it was just like, oh, and there's texture.
Yeah.
And, oh, the soup is warm, but I can't taste it. So,
yes, you look at the menu. What part of this menu is warm?
Right? Yeah, no. And so, yeah, no, I've seen some things, sir. I've been through some shit.
You definitely have.
And here I am.
Yeah, which is good for everybody else.
Thank you. Yeah, no, because you still get to be entertained by moi.
Yeah, because I would hate to think what we would do if you weren't here. Because
thank you.
You've managed to come through that and still want to share your talents and everything with us. So we are the ones who get the triumph out of it.
Thank you. I'm
That's a pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing shit.
Pretty amazing shit. Hell yeah.
You put that on your T-shirt and sell it.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, that sounds so cool. Like, pretty amazing shit. And it's just that's all it says on the shirt. It's just like, why are you pretty amazing shit? Why is this what your shirt says? Reasons.
Reasons.
Bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mia, thank you so much for coming on. It's just
of course.
Absolute. Yeah. To say it is a pleasure is underselling it. And
thank you.
we gotta talk again here really soon.
Oh, most definitely. I'm currently, I feel like right now with where I'm going right now with my visibility and whatnot, I feel like I am very much on the rise.
Yeah. And
I would love to talk with you again, maybe a year or 6 months from now, just to see where I've arrived.
Yeah. Yeah. And folks, you got to find out too. We're gonna have all the links. Click them all. And subscribe and follow.
Find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, Twitch, obviously.
Yeah, we got the card up. We got all of that stuff up. So.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely.
So and then there's merch too. Don't forget.
Oh, there's definitely merch. Please get some merch.
Yes.
If you want to you can get yourself your own library card. You can get stickers of me, and then you can also get some stickers or a shirt. Celebrating my lovely partner, normal human boyfriend. His name is Norman Guy.
Yeah.
And and he is my very normal human.
Of course, very normal.
Sometimes.
Very normal. Very human.
No, it's great because like when I designed it, I basically just used the most boring font of all time. It was basically a Helvetica clone.
Yes.
And then, but like it's like normal human boyfriend TM, but like the TM is like an alien script. So
that's so Invader Zim of you.
Right.
Thank you so much. Absolute riot talking with you, and I can't help but root for everything in the future for you. And
well, thank you. Yeah, no, I will forever and always be like the scrappy underdog, and I will fight my way to the top of wherever I need to get. But I'm gonna do so my way with like love and sincerity.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.